Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. Today, I think I'm going to have trouble again. Oh, maybe not. Actually, it may be okay. I'm so excited to see this. Every time I go on Facebook, I look for that little wand, and then I look for the tool belt, and then so that I can go upside down and you can see. And all of a sudden, it's there again. When I checked the last time, it wasn't there. When I checked the time before, it was there. You get the message. It's Facebook is very unpredictable, so I'm going to do my best and share with you today. What I want to share is actually my card class for tonight. I am doing a card class with the Aspen dies. Now, the Aspen dies were a celebration item. I actually got them during celebration. I love birds, but I have a hard time coloring birds because, of course, they're very regional, the different colors. So I have a hard time coloring birds, and I never know for sure what they're supposed to look like. So I don't usually buy bird stamps because like I said, have a hard time coloring them. Even with Stampin' Up's lovely stamps so that you know that anything that, they practically guide you in how to color it. But I put off buying that Perched in a Tree bundle for a long time. And in fact, I just have the stamp set coming this week. It's not even here yet. I have been able to do all of these cards just with the Aspen tree dies. And I actually have another card idea in my head. There's so many really great dies that Stampin' Up has. They have that little snowman set, and you've got the frame, and it's got the snowflakes around the edges. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got the Scary Cute bundle, the Halloween set with the little trick-or-treaters, and it's got the little haunted house kind of frame. I have this idea in my head of I want to do a class through the looking glass, almost like a window card, that kind of idea. And there are other dies like that, but the Aspen tree die is one just like that. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to give this away yet, but this is the die. I'm covering it up because I want to show you a trick that I've learned. And that is with the help of my helper, Shirley. Just to let you know, half of what I do here, I would not be able to do without help in my studio. Cleaning, organizing, getting ready for my card classes, inspiration, and this class was no different. I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and then I'd run it by Shirley and say, what do you think? And she's like, well, what if you tried this? And then I tried that, and I'm like, oh, if we tried this, it's going to be perfect. Well, this is one of those classes. I'm going to show you my cards when I flip down in just a second because it looks like I am going to be able to show you right side up. And no, I don't have my host code here again. I don't know what is with me, but I'm a little disorganized today. Mostly because I worked last night, got my hair done this morning. Tonight I go back to work again after I have my card class. And so much going on, and my BOGO is still out everywhere, so my studio feels upside down. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling. But I'm going to show you these cards, and then I have to make a wedding card this weekend. I am going to a retreat up in Maine. I'm going to Celine's retreat in Kennebunkport. I'm very excited about that. My husband is going to a wedding, and these people are, they like to bike, so they seem very down to earth. They're not the frilly type. I don't expect that it's going to be a fancy wedding with the dress with a long train and whatever. I think that I think that they're going to like a plain, simple, but stepped up card. So I'm going to make that with you today. So that's what we're going to work on. I've got it all ready, and it's very similar to my card that I'm making tonight for card class. So let's flip down so you can see what I'm going to make for the card class. Hi to everybody joining me. As soon as I flip down, I won't see, but I just want to say thank you for watching me. I appreciate it. I've been putting on my Facebook page. I'm almost earning the trip, and it's because of you guys. It's because of you watching me, supporting me, cheering me on, purchasing from me, all that. That's why I'm where I am today. It's not me. It's you guys. So anyway, I want to say thank you because as soon as I flip down, I won't see you and I won't be able to comment, but I will respond to everybody's comment, and I mean everybody's comment. Anybody that leaves me a comment, I absolutely respond to. Hopefully within a couple of hours. Tonight, because of my card class and then going to work, it may take a little bit longer, but I will respond to all of them. So let's flip down. Is this going to work? Nope, it's not going to work. So we're going to have to do it upside down, but that's okay. All of a sudden, I thought I was onto something, but I guess not. Okay, so let's flip down, and I'm going to show you these cards, and then I'm going to show you, let's get closer and show you these cards. Okay, so this is my first card. Love this card. Isn't this beautiful? So now you're probably seeing it backwards. Put it right there. Okay, you're seeing it backwards. This is the pearlescent paper. Underneath here is a designer paper, and this is actually the Splendid Thoughts designer paper that was on sale last week. So I use that. The back of this is like a silver embossed foil. It's really pretty, but I wanted the green, and I was inspired by something on Pinterest. And then, of course, these little dies, these are all from the Cottage Wreath stamp set and dies. I just love the embossed dies, the little leaves that you could use to decorate the wreath. And of course this banner is too. And I was thinking this might be nice, but it seemed a tiny bit fancy for her. So this is not the card I was going to give to for the wedding this weekend, even though it would be beautiful as a wedding card, wouldn't it? So pearlescent paper, seafoam, and then this is a Splendid Thoughts designer paper. And I forgot to look online and see if that's still available. Yesterday, they kind of had a double week weekly deal, and it was on the weekly deals. I bought a couple of packages of this because this is going to make fabulous wedding cards. So this is the brushed metallic cardstock that was available during celebration. And then, of course, I embossed this with copper. So that's that card. This is my next one. Totally love this card. This paper behind here is actually the back of Sun Prince. I was trying to think of what it was. This is the back of the Sun Prince designer paper. I don't know if you can see it. It's got a little bit of a pattern. There are a couple of patterns patterned papers that could have worked. I was also looking at texture sheet, but we're going to use that in the card coming up. So I'll show you that in a minute. But this is this is the Soft Seedlings stamp set. I used that for this leaf. I stamped it with So Saffron, and then I took a sponge dauber and Cajun Craze. I'm going to show you the stamp set because it's really beautiful. I love the font of the all of the sentiments, and it's just such a pretty stamp set. To me, it was one that I had to see several times before I was inspired to buy this, and now I'm like, I can't stop using it. It's so pretty. These are the Opal Rounds, and I used a crumb cake blend to color them just to kind of match this. So here, of course, Aspen die. I did it in crumb cake. You can see that it embosses and cuts at the same time, and it's really quite easy to do. This is just a strip of paper. Because this is 3 3/4 inches wide, my sentiment panel is 3 3/4 inches wide by I believe 1 1/4 inches. So, and then I of course just stamped it in Cajun Craze. This would even be beautiful for the wedding card. Okay, so that's card number 2. Card number 3. This was a swap that I got, and I totally loved it. So this is, in case you don't know, this was one of the pool party and soft seafoam cards and envelopes that was available during celebration. And I got a couple of packages of them. And then I got this for a swap when I was in New Orleans last week and absolutely loved it. So you've got the die cut. And then this is out of the distressed gold paper. And this is mint macaron, I believe. So these two together under this Sahara sand label, and this is embossed in white. It's so pretty, isn't it? So pretty. I just love this card. So that would be pretty too. But I'm going to show you this one. This is my Christmas card that I made. This card, again, is white, and you could use white shimmer paper too, and it would be very pretty with shimmer, or you could use a Wink of Stella and color this. It would be so pretty. This is the textured chic designer paper that I was talking about, but what we are going to do today is do this instead on a different paper, a different pattern. This one, I'm going to use this one with the fall leaves since it is a fall wedding. We're going to use that, and then I'm going to do a different label. Instead of Season's Greetings, I'm going to do something using the Celebrating You stamp and the seasonal labels dies. And then I just have a little die cut that I'm again going to do out of the white glimmer paper, but it is from, oh, I know, it's from the designer tags. I thought I would just do something like that using this little sprig. And I don't know how it's going to look. It's just, this is what I think I'm going to do. Okay, so that's that. So we're going to make this card right now. So let me set that aside, and I'm going to show you now what I wanted to show you. This is the die. It's an oval. It is really hard to line up, to figure out, to make it look straight. When you do the die cuts, if you don't do it quite right, and what we decided was right is lining up with this tree branch or this tree trunk right here. So this one is the top. This is the bottom. You can see it right here. This is the top of the die. And what I did was I took a Post-it note and I'm going to line this up so this is even with the side of my card. So let's get that going now and start making this card. And we'll see if it turns out the way I anticipate. Because this person that's getting the wedding card doesn't know what it looks like, I don't think it matters. But, oh, and I love this gold. I may use this instead of the white ribbon. We're going to think about this. Okay, so here is my designer paper. The designer paper I found that works best is about 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. If you wanted to hide behind here, and this really, the best size for this is 4 by 5 1/4. So you really do need to do 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. If it's 5 inches, you are really tight hiding it behind the open areas of the die right there. So I would recommend, even if you want to do 3 3/4, that's fine, but make sure that it's about 5 1/8 inches long. Okay, so let's set this aside for a second. This could possibly be done with the mini cut and emboss, but we're going to do it with the big one right now because I didn't test it with that, to be honest. So let's do it here. I'm going to put it on here. So I've got my white, and like I said, what I'm going to do is line up the die right side up right there. So as long as I am, what I want to do is make sure that that tree trunk is what is straight. Okay, so get my stuff out of the way here for a second. And what I like to do is back and forth. Sorry, I'm shaking the table and the camera. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. This is a folding table. It's a pretty sturdy one and it's wood, but it is a hollow table, so sometimes it does make a little bit more of a mess. Okay, let me get this out of the way for a second. I'm going to use this once more to cut my label in a minute. That was my shelf liner that I like to use. I've got my Take Your Pick tool right here, and I can brush these pieces, and they're pretty big pieces, so they really come pretty much right out. I should have a pad here, a foam mat, but I don't, so let's move this out of the way, put that in here. Okay, so here's my die cut. I'm going to set this aside. And to me, that looks pretty straight. That's what I lined up right there. I am going to glue that onto my designer paper. So I'm doing this upside down so you can see it. Like I said, at one point, and I should not have clicked back out of it. I don't know why I did it. I saw how I could do it so that I could flip down so you guys could see. I'm just adding a little bit of glue on these edges. And not heavy, of course, just a little bit, but on a couple of the tree trunks, just so it doesn't shift on me. And for me, I barely squeeze this when I'm adding glue, but just so you know, that's how I do that. So, oops, you know what? There's one more little thingy here. Needs to come out. Okay. It doesn't terribly matter if it's not straight, because it is a multicolored patterned paper. But, Okay, let me get my glue out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is stamp my label. So let me set this aside for a second. I'm getting all those little pieces off of my plate here too. Okay, so now what I did, I have here, I have a piece of mint macaron. Now when I did this before, this was on soft succulent, and it looks very, it looks kind of dark and stormy to me. I love that. But I want this to be a wedding card, and this paper just happens to be a tiny bit lighter. So I'm using mint macaron instead. So what I'm going to do is stamp my sentiment. I'm going to stamp it and then emboss it. So have you guys gotten the new embossing kit that you can get that's available now in the mini catalog? Love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so I've got a brand new embossing buddy full of cornstarch. My other one was getting a tiny bit flat. I have here basic gray. And what I've found is you can definitely use Versamark. What I'm going to try is stamping in basic gray and then embossing in silver. I'm thinking that it might be a little bit more pronounced if it's got the gray behind it rather than the clear Versamark. So we're going to see. When these were the felt pads, it was really hard to emboss with them. They didn't stay wet as long, but because it's the foam pad now, it stays wet longer. What I'm going to do, I put my label on there already. And yes, I'm doing it upside down for you, but I can't stamp upside down. There we go. And now what I want to do, before it dries, I've got my silver embossing powder. So what I did was I bought all of the embossing powders. I bought the basics and I bought the metallics, and they each have their own little Glad container with a label. Then I have these orange leaf spoons that I use to scoop it back in. And I'm just going to sprinkle this over top. Now what I'm going to do is use my brush to get rid of some excess. So this brush was included in that embossing kit. There we go. And then I am going to emboss it. So don't look, this is not a Stampin' Up! Embossing heat gun. I cannot find mine for the life of me. And this one really works, and it works faster. So for the love of the camera, I'm going to do it very fast with my non-Stampin' Up! Heat gun. So, and what you do, of course, is you hold it close. And what I'm going to do, and you can possibly see it, I'm going to wait to see the color change. You know, it's almost like magic. It's my favorite technique to do because it works so well. You can see that it's starting to turn a little bit. And I'm going to do that all over here. I move it a little bit, keep it close, but I don't want to scorch it, so I really do want to be careful and keep an eye on it. And to me, that looks pretty close. Now, I think I'm wrong. I think it probably would have looked better if I had done it with, you know what, this needs a tad more. When you look at it, you can kind of turn it, and then you can see when it's about done. You can see that there's, I don't know, I'm turning it so that you can possibly catch it with the light, but it is now silver. It's shiny. It loses that dull finish when you do it. Okay, what I'm going to do next is hopefully, this is nice and cool, because it is possible, I've done it before, if you do this too quickly, after you've heat embossed, it really may not be cool and set, and then all of a sudden you end up with a smeared mess and you've got embossing and ink all over your plates. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is this right here. This is my seasonal labels die. Let's put this up here again. This is my shelf liner so that it doesn't shift on me. Got my two plates here. I have to stand up for this, guys, sorry. And you may or may not see this yet, but You'll see it when I finish. And I may do this again, and because I think I was wrong. I think Versamark with silver would have been shinier and would have shown up better. But it's too late now because I don't have Versamark nearby. So, got that. Let's move this out of the way. And here's my piece all ready to go. Oh, I forgot that I did want to emboss. I was saying that I did want to use this label to die cut as well. So I'm going to use, this is the white glimmer paper. This is out of the red and white glimmer paper pack, just to let you know. Okay. The mini would probably work better here, but we're going to do it like this because I don't have the mini close by right this minute. So I'm going to make sure that this is good, and because this glimmer paper is a little thicker, back and forth, I might actually do it twice. Not that I really have any trouble with Stampin' Up's dies anymore. We used to. Look at that. It's going to come right off. Beautiful. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick brush tool just to get those little pieces out. There we go. And what I want to do is put this and the label on here. And like I was saying, I think that what I may want to use this gold ribbon instead of the white ribbon this time. Forgot to grab my card base, so we're going to use one from my card class that's all ready for tonight. I'm just going to have to cut another one real quick. Gray granite card base. I think that's a little bit lighter than, I think the gray smoky slate would be too bright. I think basic gray would be too dark. So we're going to do that. I'm just going to add this to my card base. And if you see this, look at this. I didn't even put this on straight. It doesn't matter. As long as it's behind your opening, you're going to be fine. Just make sure you do it right side up. So this is how it's going to go. Right there. And then let's use some dimensionals. We're going to pop up our thing. I think I am going to go back and re-stamp this with the Versamark. So, but I can take this off because I've got my dimensionals here. I got to put this way so I can see it. Sorry, guys. Let's put it like right here, like that. And we're going to tie our bow. I just make a loop. I go around my thumb and the loop. Does that make sense? Then I make another loop and I just pull it through. And then I just kind of fiddle with it. And I know Shirley says, I don't know how you do it. I've watched you. Don't know how you do it. I don't know how I do it either. It just kind of works. There must be something sticky on my paper snips because usually it cuts better than that. We'll do it like that. We're going to just add that with a glue dot. Got one sitting right here. I'll put that right there. And you know what? I probably should have embossed this with gold now that I look at it, because the gold definitely would go better with this ribbon. So, okay. So now what we're going to do is do it with Versamark and the gold powder. And then all I'm going to do here is add this right over here in the bottom. I'm going to use, let's see, I've got some mini dimensionals right here. We are going to add that behind. It's not going to matter if the dimensional shows through a little bit because it's white, so I'm not terribly worried about it. We're going to add that right there. And almost voila, I've got a wedding card right there. And I didn't do anything except add a label, a ribbon, a die cut, the sentiment and designer paper with this Aspen tree die. So look at how easy these cards are. I just showed you all these cards. Just a couple of the leaves. These are the Aspen tree leaves. This is from that set. And just a rectangle label, a bow. Quick and easy. This one took a little bit longer because I fussy cut the leaf, but nothing really. I mean, seriously, this card class could take me, if I had these already die cut, could take you 15 minutes to make these cards. That's how easy this die cut is. So I want to encourage you to look into it. I'm going to do this over once more, and I'm going to do it with the gold, just so that it kind of matches. And I'm going to post that on Facebook so that you can see it. So, okay, I'm going to flip back up. Oh, hi, Judy. Good to see you. Oh, this Facebook thing, gonna kill me. Anyway, love to see you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Join me next week, probably next Thursday, for another Facebook Live. Have a great day. Bye.